The home test season is nearing us, coming closer and closer. As we, sit here to talk about India versus Bangladesh, there's one home test happening as well in closer to us, Greater Noida, which probably hasn't happened. The first 2 days have been washed out. Plenty of reportage from the venue saying that there were issues, there were infrastructure issues, there were drainage was not international quality. And our reporter Nitin Srivastava, he clicked a photo. He went to the urinal in the morning and then clicked a photo of a caterer washing utensils there. We speak so much about the infrastructure in India, so much that has grown over the years. But this is probably because of lack of planning. It's not the first time that this venue is hosting an international match. It has hosted international matches in the past when it came to Afghanistan, like in 2017. Some 6 limited overs matches, 2020 another 3. But a little bit of the weather as well. People couldn't, they had to arrange for ground staff from outs. They had to outsource them. They had to rent tents, rent the covers that will be used to cover the ground. So plenty happened there. And Alan was supposed to go today. And he was telling us that probably he'll go there and have a good meal.
But after the report, no chance.
After the report, he has kind of backed out. And it looks like the test match might not happen because as we speak on a Tuesday evening in Noida, we are hearing that it's lashing out in Greater Noida. And if there is overnight rain and there is very little chance of the play starting, not resuming but starting. Even the toss hasn't happened in Greater Noida. But that aside, Alan is with me, Saurabh is with me, and we are here with the squad announcement details, right? Alan, you had a very good time covering the squad announcement on Sunday.
One issue, I think the only issue I had with the squad announcement was that they decided to send it on the day when I was alone. Nobody else was on shift and I had just returned from dinner. So at that point in time when, because of the squad announcement thing was that there were a lot of reports coming in. They were saying that Bumrah might be rested. Who is going to be coming back? Shreyas Iyer. There were a lot of names in the mix. And at that point in time, we were all searching what would be the main peg. So the main peg was obviously Rishabh Pant coming back into the side. And India has picked up a very strong pace attack as well. Akashdeep has been performing well in the Duleep trophy. 9 wickets in his first match. Yash Dayal, kind of a complete redemption arc for him. He has come back into the his first maiden call-up. And then you have Mohammad Siraj and Bumrah. It's a very strong bowling lineup. Batting-wise, I think, we have our regular team, regular people like Rohit, Jaiswal.
Are you calling Rohit a regular guy?
He is a regular person in the team, not a
regular in
captain.
The team.
Regular in the team.
Now, before we get there, as in he was trying to fill out the squad. I'll read out the squad for our listeners and viewers. That squad will be led by Rohit Sharma, Yashasvi Jaiswal, Shubman Gill, Virat Kohli, KL Rahul, Sarfaraz Khan, Rishabh Pant, Dhruv Jurel. So Rishabh Pant and Dhruv Jurel, 2 wicket keeping options. And then we go to the bowlers, R. Ashwin, Ravindra Jadeja, Akshar Patel, 3 all-rounders there. Kuldeep Yadav is the lone specialist spinner. As in, if you consider him to be not an all-rounder. Mohammad Siraj, Akashdeep, Jasprit Bumrah and Yash Dayal. That's the 15-member squad. But Alan. So what were you saying?
So I mean, the only thing that would have been a surprise in the sense was probably Rishabh Pant in my view as well, because he did play that Duleep Trophy match. He looked good. He had a very good second innings. Maybe they could have, kind of given him a little more time when it came to red ball cricket. Probably not rush him in, but I mean, that could have been a Gambhir call to bring in Rishabh Pant, because he wants that brand of cricket that Rishabh Pant has, because he was anyways going berserk in that match as well. He was not shying away from taking the shots in the Duleep Trophy match as well. So,
but I am kind of surprised that Alan here thinks that Rishabh is a surprise call for him.
Because
I don't think the selectors have rushed him into it. We spoke to Deep Das Gupta, former wicketkeeper, and I asked him this question, saying, do you think Rishabh can get back into the test mode? This was before the Duleep Trophy first round match. And he was like, what are you guys even saying? Rishabh, he's looking fitter than ever before. He is looking leaner, that is for sure. And he's looking fitter. That he proved during the IPL and during the T20 World Cup. And don't forget, he also played an ODI in Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
So 50 overs of wicket keeping and then batting, that kind of settles the debate right there itself, right?
Yeah, my whole thing is that this, like, Duleep Trophy was probably his first time with the red ball.
Yeah, in nearly 2 years.
In nearly 2 years. Now he has performed in one innings, probably a one more match. Maybe he could have come into the second test because this is just for the first test, right? And Dhruv Jurel has been brilliant. The opportunities that he got in the England series and also his performances with the gloves in the Duleep Trophy match as well. He was brilliant. So probably they could have, kind of seen how Dhruv Jurel does and then probably could have brought Rishabh Pant back for the second test. That is my argument here. So that is where I felt a little, maybe a little more match practice. But obviously, like you said, Rishabh Pant's talent is without a doubt.
Yeah.
So he is one of the great, one of the best test players that we have, which is a surprise, kind of given his big hitting skills as well. So
Saurav is like that number 4 batter. He's waiting for the openers to get out. He's like, how long will I keep waiting for this room? But before you go, Saurav, I have another point to make. Another 20 runs of our partnership before you come in.
Definitely. I'm all for it.
Yeah, but you said that probably Pant could have come in the second test. But I remember Rahul Dravid saying once during his tenure that injured players who come back will get the preference over the lesser experienced players. For instance, why I'm saying Rishabh Pant picking for the first test is right is, for instance, you give Dhruv Jurel the opportunity to play in Chennai in the first test and he scores 100 in both the innings, or he scores 100 in one innings and does well with the gloves. Then how will you drop Dhruv Jurel? What message will you send when you're bringing back Rishabh? So I think, yes, fitness-wise, probably you never know whether they have rushed him. He looked good in the limited overs setup of the game, but a 5-day game is a completely different ball game.
Scenario, yeah.
But I still think it's a reasonable call. Saurav, you?
Definitely. I mean, Rishabh Pant, what he has done over the past 1 year, first of all, a miraculous comeback.
Yeah.
Then you play the IPL as the captain of Delhi Capitals.
Yeah.
Then you play the T20 World Cup. Did not lead them to anywhere. It was not just his fault. The coach was sacked after that. The parted ways with Ricky Ponting. So that is another debate. Then he was part of the T20 World Cup winning side. Sensational performance from him. Yes, he was getting out, but he was scoring those runs and he was very good with his wicket keeping. Now when you see the Duleep Trophy, that was his chance to prove that yes, I can keep wickets, I can score runs. And you can see, I think you wrote an article, Akshay, that he's chirpy at his best, he's back at his best. The way he was setting up field, the way he set up Kuldeep Yadav. Alan did an article, how he set up Kuldeep Yadav. So Rishabh Pant, you want Rishabh Pant for these things. I am all for Dhruv Jurel and I loved the way he played against England. But as there are media reports coming out that Sarfaraz will not be preferred over KL Rahul. Because KL Rahul is more experienced. Similarly, in this case, Rishabh Pant will be preferred from the first game. Then there is a question that why have they picked a strong squad? Are they afraid of this Bangladesh side that they defeated Pakistan?
Our man Kingshik Kusari was saying that Gambhir is scared, so he brought Bumrah in for the first test. They could have easily rested Bumrah. We were joking about it.
I think that Gautam Gambhir has done the best thing. Why? Because now your test season is starting. You play 5 home tests and 5 away tests. You start against Bangladesh, then you play 3 test series against New Zealand and then you tour Australia. So you want your best players to be in fit and in nick of everything. And that is why I think they have picked a full strength team. Shami might be the one who might be returning for the New Zealand test. But other than that, I think it's a very good choice from Gautam Gambhir. And I am liking that he is going with that Dravid philosophy that the people who are experienced will get the chances over the less experienced one in Test cricket. This is what I
coming back, right?
Yeah, definitely. Because KL Rahul was not benched. He was injured. He's coming back. Rishabh Pant was not benched. He was injured. He's coming back. So when you're coming back from injury and you had performed last time when you played, okay, you get a chance. And if you don't perform, there are people waiting in the line, they will get chances. That is how it works now, I think.
What about KKR's captain, Alan? Being a KKR fan yourself.
Shreyas Iyer.
I think...
is his test career over?
I don't think so. I would like to believe it is not over. I've always kind of said that, Shreyas Iyer is someone who should be the vice captain of the test team. That is what I had always believed in.
Yeah.
And because of his captaincy skills, he's always been great. And also when the matches are in India, he has always performed well. Obviously, going out is something that is still, a little alien to him. But in subcontinent conditions, if you remember the last time India played Bangladesh away from home, that that miracle on Christmas, you could say, where he and Ashwin kind of, settled down, dropped the anchor, saw off the spin threat, and then took on the Pacers and got India the win. So I think Shreyas, probably his Duleep Trophy matchup was not as impressive as compared to the others who have got the chances right now. I think that is what would have swayed. And I think probably, Ajit Agarkar has come out and said that, this was a misunderstanding from our part with what has happened in the past, and he will be considered. So I think still he has a little bit of a journey to make to probably come back into the team. And I feel that he should be there. I think T20Is is not his strong suit. ODIs, he's a perfect ODI batter. Tests, I feel he will go up a level. That is what my belief is. So, yeah, I feel his career should be there as long as he is performing. So, yeah.
And did you expect Gambhir to pick Shreyas because he's a KKR captain?
Not really, because at the end of the day, when you look at it, how many KKR players are there in this squad, right? There are not a lot. Now,
Harshit Rana did well.
Harshit Rana did well, but again, Harshit's learning curve is still a lot behind as compared to others. Now, if you're picking up a team that is going upon the merit of experience, probably Harshit, as compared to a Yash Dayal also, Harshit is still learning his craft.
Yeah.
So, obviously, I think he's a very good bowler that India can bank on. In the coming future, maybe next year by this time he could be playing one of those series, maybe an ODI or a T20I series, because he's got that mentality and everything going. So I think Gambhir is not going on that bias as well, KKR bias or any other bias. I think Saurabh pointed out, he is also looking back at his predecessors as well. Yes, you have got the aggression there, but to pull off the aggression, sometimes you need to have the not the young blood, but the experienced blood coming in. So I think he's going with that approach and keeping his biases aside, probably.
So what do you think of? I agree that Shreyas Iyer Test career is far from over.
Yeah.
But I think he needs to put in a lot of work in the domain. First, he needs to consistently play this season of domestic cricket is what I think. When the second round of the Duleep Trophy squad was announced, he's still the captain.
Yeah.
He's still the captain if I'm not wrong. And if you look at the competition for the middle order spots,
yes,
that is something that that is gonna put a lot more pressure on him.
You both have said that his Test career is far from over.
Yeah,
and I agree with you. I agree with Alan's point that yes, he has that leadership quality. I would love to see him as you're saying vice captain. If he can perform with the bat, why not be the Test captain? He has got it. He can be a ODI captain and Test captain. If not the T20I, but ODIs and Test definitely. But now the thing remains. Over the past 1 year, this year has been, apart from that IPL win, nothing has gone right for him. Yeah. So now you see he is a middle order batter. He bats at number 4, number 5, number 6. Okay. And that number 4 is taken by Virat Kohli. You can't touch that unless he himself rests or he's injured. And he's barely injured.
Or he retires.
Or
he's not retiring any soon.
Yeah.
We don't want him to retire. Number 5 spot. There are so many people in line right now in that squad which has been selected for Bangladesh Test.
Yeah.
So for Shreyas Iyer to come and take that squad, that will take a lot of runs, a lot of merit. And Shreyas Iyer is capable of doing everything. The way he performed in that ODI World Cup, he showed that he is no less to anyone. You talk about batting, you talk about temperament, the way he scored those runs at number 4 for India in ODIs. But then in Tests, apart from that Bangladesh Test, and that one when he made his debut against New Zealand, he has not done much in Test cricket.
Especially in this...
Even in this England series, he started well, he got those starts, but he threw away those starts. A couple of very good catches from Ben Stokes and Oli Pope, and otherwise he was not very impressive. And then that miscommunication happened. So now for Shreyas Iyer to force his move, he literally has to force his move into this Indian Test squad. Because right now you see, this is our number 1 team, that 15-player squad. Apart from that, we are sending an India A squad to Australia. which is before that Australia series, the Border Gavaskar Trophy. There you will see a young Mushir Khan battling out, Devrar Padikkar, all these players will be there. So they will also be looking to to get that spot.
Yeah.
So Shreyas Iyer has to do a lot of good things, score most runs, and he has to pray to God that luck favors him this time, because he has been very unlucky. That you can't take away from him.
And one of the names that Saurabh mentioned right now, Mushir Khan. The fact of the matter that Mushir Khan is an all-rounder who can spin the ball.
Yeah.
I've always felt that India needed a guy like Moeen Ali, to kind of like a person like Moeen Ali who can score runs as well as pick up a couple of wickets here and there. So a guy like Mushir Khan just kind of adds to it.
Moeen Ali of all. You had examples of Virender Sehwag, Saurav
but-
Ganguly, Sachin Tendulkar.
when
In
you-
modern day, yes.
In modern day, when you look at it, I've always kind
Why are you
of
laughing at Moeen Ali?
No,
The legend is retired.
I am just reminded of that India series where you were haunted by Moeen Ali.
Yeah.
Apart from that, how good has Moeen Ali been in tests is something that we need
But
to look at.
when you look at it, a guy like him,
Yeah. No, I absolutely. Moeen Ali is a
When
good
you-
example.
but-
we had Indian all-rounders in the past whom you could have thrown up.
maybe
Yeah.
like if you look at the Indian all-rounders section, it would obviously you will have Sehwag,
Yeah.
you'll have Yuvraj, all those guys.
I don't want you to name those, but,
but
it just stuck me.
The kind of thing is that when you have like this competition coming in, now Mushir is going to bring in a whole different set. Then obviously you
Yes,
will need
absolutely.
to expand yourself. Maybe you might have to be starting. I've seen Shreyas Iyer bowling Sunil Narayan style of spin as well. Maybe learn a little bit more from Sunil Narayan and become a ace spinner.
Yeah.
But he will need to
Wear
expand.
a full sleeve shirt and
Wear
do
a
it.
full
Yeah.
sleeve shirt. Yes, exactly. Stay out of Ashwin's reach.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
all these things will have to come in. But
Yeah, but you made a very good point. India don't have a fast bowling all-rounder at this moment.
Yeah.
Nitish Kumar Reddy is someone who is being
Yes.
fast-tracked, but I don't know, with so little experience,
And he has
fast-tracking
injury concerns. He's a lot
injury
of injury
concerns so early. And then probably Vijay Shankar is forgotten. Hardik Pandya...
Vijay Shankar.
Yeah, Vijay Shankar is forgotten. Hardik Pandya is out of the
The
scene.
3D all-rounder.
Hardik Pandya is completely out of the scene.
He's
He's
not playing
kind of
Test cricket.
said that he will not play Test cricket. I don't know if or when he'll reverse that decision.
Yeah.
So I think India might go for India might go for a spin bowling all-rounder to, strengthen that spin bowling all-rounder. A batter who can bowl spin.
Yeah.
In the top order. So that kind of
because we have not
will
had
give them
that-
flexibility.
We have not had that in the team.
Yeah.
I mean, we have Jadeja performing and scoring runs,
Yeah.
but always Jadeja is considered to be that spinner first and then a batter.
Imagine on a green track, you are still forced to play a spinner. If you have a batter who can bowl spin,
like a
then you
Mushir
can
Khan,
go for an all-pace attack,
Yeah.
like what Pakistan did at home, and then
Then get-
win your matches. But jokes apart, but that's a good point. Like,
When you have-
that middle order, and it'll become a competitive. Even Jaiswal can roll his arm over.
Yeah, he was
And
seen
Gambhir,
bowling those.
Gambhir will-
grew up in that era, seeing his fellow opener bowl.
Murli
seeing-
Vijay,
He himself,
Sehwag,
he himself never bowled. I think.
bowled. But he has grown up in that ecosystem.
Yeah.
Even Kumble believed in that. A lot of coaches have believed in that. Like, we need our batters to bowl. I think Ravi Shastri also kept saying it.
Yeah.
Dravid also understood it in the later half of his coaching stint. So I think that's a fair point when it comes to the competition in Shreyas Iyer. Competition for Shreyas Iyer, right? But what do you make of Yash Dayal? As in, was it an out-of-the-box selection? Was it... was he in the pipeline? Like...
I remember Shastri coming out and saying that we need a left-arm pacer.
Yeah.
And he recommended Arshdeep Singh. That the sooner we inculcate him into our test setup, better for us. Maybe Arshdeep got his chances and he could not impress with his bowling. And that is why they looked at other options like Khalil Ahmed and Yash Dayal. And Yash Dayal actually performed in the Duleep Trophy match. You could see he disturbed all those batters.
And he has a good first-class record.
People remember
IPL, yes.
IPL things. And that 5 sixes, it can happen to any cricketer.
Any
Stuart Broad got hit for 6 sixes. Yeah. He's a all-time great. So Yash Dayal, and then Yash Dayal did good for RCB. After people laughed at RCB, you're picking a finish Yash Dayal. What are you going to do? And Yash Dayal won them a game against CSK, knocked your favorite franchisee out.
Yeah.
Took
MS wicket he took. No.
MS
wicket he took.
And then RCB moved to the playoff where they lost. So Yash Dayal has been performing.
Yeah.
And I am very happy that people, the Indian selectors, the Indian management are selecting players, bowlers especially, on the basis of their performance in domestic cricket. Akash, Deep, Yash, Dayal, these are success stories from our domestic cricket. So we need that left-arm pacer, and who knows, if he gets a chance, I don't think he'll get a chance. If he gets a chance and if he impresses, why not? He can play in Australia also. He'll be a good help for us. Last time we had Natarajan.
I think the whole squad, this squad, has been selected keeping the Australia series at the back of the mind.
Definitely.
Right. Because when you're saying that you want KL Rahul, there are reports saying that KL Rahul will play ahead of Sarfaraz Khan in the first test, and we also discussed why. But I think that is to give more solidity to the middle order. Like KL is an experienced batter, and his overseas records, scored 100 again in South Africa, scored 100 in England, and he has done well in Australia also in the past. I think even that, and then the need for a left-arm pacer to knock off, to give some variety to this bowling attack.
Yes.
That is something I think the end goal is Australia.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I am not saying that India will take Bangladesh or New Zealand lightly. And they shouldn't take also.
Yeah.
Bangladesh should have their tails up after what they did to Pakistan. But at the back of the mind, the planning might start for Australia series. I think when we last won in 2020-2021, Ravi Shastri and Bharat Tarun in interviews said that we started the planning even before the IPL. For a series in November, they started the planning in March. So that is the kind of planning that you need to do well in a country like Australia. So I think this entire selection has been made with the Australia series at the back of the mind. That's what I feel.
Yeah, this team is full of performers.
Yeah.
And you can see you're ticking almost every box.
Yeah.
You have a left arm pacer, you have a swing bowler, you have a new ball pacer, you have Bumrah, you have got Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, KL Rahul's experience, you have got young blood in Sarfaraz, Dhruv Jurel. Rishabh Pant is coming back to injury, he's looking back at his best. So this team has got everything. Shubman Gill has performed at number 3 in the England series. Yeah. So, and Akshar Patel, Ravin Jadeja must be itching to perform.
Exactly. And the second spinner spot might... Actually, the spinners will have a competition.
Yeah, Ashwin, Jadeja,
knowing
Kuldeep,
that
oh my God.
Australia is coming up. That will be in the back of their minds as well, right? As in like if Akshar does well with the bat and the ball, why not Akshar in Australia?
Obviously, why not?
If Ashwin can get a couple of 50s, 100s, probably play one match-saving innings here.
And
you never know.
Last 2 series when you won in Australia, it was not your top order. Pujara was scoring runs, but then after Pujara, it was always your lower middle order. The tail which used to bail you out. Shardul, Sundar.
Where is our man Shardul in this squad?
Where is Sundar? Where is Shardul?
Yeah.
So yes. Yeah, I think with the SDL thing, I also feel the need for a left. I always felt like a guy like Mohsin Khan could have...
Tall.
Tall. He was very good.
Very
not
pacey.
For his injury.
But the injury concerns. I think Yash is someone who has not... I think that GT season was obviously... was written off.
And he has also spoken about learning a lot from Shami
and all those people. And the emergence of a guy like, kind of like an Akash Deep as well. So we are kind of removing that Shami absence in one way. So that gives us that freedom to have a left-arm pacer. And when you look at it, I think Yash has shown aggression. The way that he dismissed Riyan Parag and how he was celebrating, he showed that I'm going to be right at your face. I'm not that scared guy who was hit for 5 sixes anymore. So probably that is going to be the step up for him.
And we also have to keep in mind that we are playing 5 tests in Australia for the first time. And this is only the squad for the first test against Bangladesh, not even the second test. So they might think of rotating the
few names,
fast bowlers around, the good fast bowlers from Duleep Trophy, and probably create a pool of fast bowlers for the Australia series. You can't rely on Siraj, Bumrah and Shami to go all through the 5
test matches. So, big thing.
I think Paras Mamre had rightfully said it after the T20 World Cup that India needs to create a pool of pacers which has to start a long time ahead. The T20 World Cup win came in because we had started creating this pool from 2021 something, where they started to pick out a guy like, okay, Arshdeep is going. So when we saw those teams coming in, we were like, oh, why are they putting in random names? But it was all part of that testing process. So probably this is where you might see a Yash Dayal get a chance. If he performs, he stays. Or if he doesn't, maybe an Arshdeep might come in next.
But there was there was that beautiful interview of Yash Dayal's father. I think it was PTI.
PTI to PTS.
And father said that after that 5 sixes, even school kids who were going by, school kids used to shout Rinku, Rinku, Rinku. That was a very horrible time. But like I always, bad times don't stay for long. And it's good to see him. And I hope whether he gets a chance or not in the first test has to be seen. But with Siraj not playing the first round of Duleep Trophy, he was ill, I think. He was ill. He was down with illness and all that. Probably it might work in his favour. Bumrah and Yash Dayal, a left-right combination for India.
And Akashdeep probably coming in as a...
if we need a third. Akashdeep, of course. But you never know. You can play three pacers depending on
what Chennai offers. And all.
Chennai will be snowy in October, I think, in September. Second half. But
from Chennai, you're getting confused.
But before we go, just can you... starting 11, what would you have?
Okay, you want the playing 11 for the Bangladesh test?
First test.
So, Rohit and Jaiswal to open for me. Gill comes at number 3. Virat at number 4. At number 5, I would have... Obviously, now the reporters saying KL is going to play there. Then Rishabh Pant. Then Akshar. I will play Akshar over Kuldeep. So, Akshar, Ashwin and Jadeja.
Two similar left-arm bowlers.
Yeah. And then I will have Akashdeep and Bumrah.
And you?
I think probably the only change from this team I would make is maybe Kuldeep playing ahead of Akshar. That's it.
What will you have?
Similar lineup.
So you will also pick Akshar over Kuldeep?
I think it will be a shootout. I think what we probably have to decide is who's the second spinner. As Jadeja is coming off a long break. Rusty, he might be rusty as well. So probably give him that time. And I would somehow want Dhruv Jurel to get a couple of chances before he goes to Australia. I don't know how. Probably... I don't know. If you ask me, if you're going with some brash, if you're going for a very adventurous tour, then keep KL away for some time and then play Dhruv and Rishabh both
together.
I mean,
Dhruv as a specialist,
as a batter was also very good
because he did well. Whatever he was I think 190, an average of 60. He played a crucial knock in Ranchi, 90 in the first innings, and then saved us.
And he played with your tail and saved matches for you. Scored those runs.
And he looks like someone who can handle those bouncy conditions well. He's technically superb. When will you? Yeah, I know KL has done really well, but there should be a time where you should probably move on from KL Rahul. Like,
you don't have to move on from KL Rahul. KL Rahul will move out from test team. He'll get injured, he'll move out. That is
hopefully not. Hopefully not.
But it should not happen. I'm not saying it should happen, but this has happened over the past 2-3 years.
This has been I think...
a long rope has been given. Probably, yes, another season. If he does well, probably carves a place for himself in the team, well and good. But if he doesn't do well, then there are players who are waiting.
There are a lot of players waiting.
In the wings, and Dhruv is... you have to strike the iron when it's hot, and Dhruv is right now looking like someone who is really adept to playing test cricket. Even he can switch gears as well. He's not like a one-trick pony.
In that England game also that you had suggested, I think 55 he reached very slowly, and from there he took on the attack. So I mean, like you said, maybe KL out and Dhruv Jurel at number 5. It's a good option. It's a brave option actually.
Of course.
Let's see if they make it.
Let's see. But it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. Once we know the result of the Greater Noida test, we'll start looking forward to this test, which is just 9 days away from us now. And we should also let our viewers in and listeners in get their thoughts on what they think about this squad and what they think about the planning that is probably has started for the Australia series. You can send in your feedback on 8588 966 996. You can also email us on pods@indiatoday.com. If you're listening to this on Spotify or Apple Podcast, please do rate us. And like we always say, if you're watching us on YouTube, please leave your comments. We'll be very happy to learn your feedback. Thank you. Have a great week.